Welcome to the Truck Spa, everybody. Today, do we not only have a product review for you, but it is a brand new product we've never tried before. It's Witch's Brew from Chem-X. It's a iron and rust remover, and we're gonna try it out today. Stick around.
Large Car Truck Spa, the difference between washed and clean.
All right, so the Witch's Brew, the iron and rust remover, brand new product from Chem-X, like we said. Really interesting product. We've used something like this before here in the Truck Spa. To basically what it's designed to do is anytime it makes contact with any exposed surfaces, any rust on your vehicle, it instantly turns red when it starts attacking and breaking down that rust, that iron on your vehicle. A lot of places we see that. Customers come in with a nice white vehicle and we see a tiny bit of these micro pitting, these little tiny spots in there. And what we'll do is we'll apply something like this and it instantly turns purple. What that is basically brake dust contamination that when driving, it releases from the brake pads, on the calipers, on the drums, and that gets up behind the wheel in the wind. It bonds to the paint of the surface of the vehicle and it starts to rust. It starts to pit in that paint and do damage there that way. So on your large cars, something like this would be crucial if you've got something where you've taken a lot of time to rejuvenate, or if you've got a new vehicle and you want to keep the rust off down in the back of the truck by the axles, the kingpin, that kind of thing. We've got a truck in here today and we did see some rust on the back. So he's let us try it out on the truck. It's Jesse's 389 from Shannon Creek here today, and we're gonna mix this up. The interesting part about Witch's Brew, what makes it different from different products we've used, is that it has a 3-to-1 panel impact ratio. What that means is that it's in concentrate and it needs to be diluted down for us to use it at the recommended ratio. So we've gone ahead, we've got an empty bottle and we've put in 12 ounces of water, and we're just going to open up the bottle. We're gonna put in 4 ounces of product. That'll give us that 3-to-1 ratio. And in layman's terms, 3 scoops of water and 1 scoop of Witch's Brew. So we're gonna go ahead, fill that up. We can't spill. Perfect. Let's get this put together. We're gonna go to the back and find those rust spots and get started applying. All right, so we're back at the back of the truck here. Definitely this is the first place we can see a lot of that rust and corrosion happening. There's so much salt and sand that's being kicked up by the tires, especially on vehicles that don't have proper containments like these single, wheel hubs. But even on the frame, we can see like there's a lot of salt, a lot of rust happening, a lot of surface rust. So this is where the Witch's Brew comes in to really combat a lot of that and then slow it down, knock it out before it gets any worse. So we've got our other bottle here. We've mixed it up. We've got the 3-to-1 panel impact ratio. Let's get started. We're just gonna spray it on some spots. We're not gonna treat it or clean it up at first. We're just gonna put it directly on the dirty truck with all the salt on it. So let's start applying. Fifth wheel plate up here on the tin. It doesn't take long to see the obvious spots where there's rust. Can you see, cameraman? Have a look. Right, turning bright purple really quick. Anywhere that Witch's Brew is touching anything that's got a raw or a exposed surface, metal surface, it's just hitting, attacking that rust and breaking it down. Really, really great for not only, trucks like this, but like I said earlier in the video, is that brake dust contamination that happens on the vehicle. One of the other things in the bottle that mentions, right, if you can see here, safe on all surfaces, paints and coatings, so no worries there. Let's have a look. We're gonna walk around the truck and then see if we can find a couple more spots where the iron and rust remover might be beneficial. So making our way around the truck, here's another obvious place we always find a lot of rust. Stacks, exhaust systems like this. Anytime there's a cut or a crink a bend, crack in the chrome, whatever like that. A lot of these pipes are just chrome plated, so you can see there's a couple of spots here, right where we see some rust. And the carbon fiber hardware, right, not stainless, not it's susceptible to rust, that kind of thing. So we can see even the mounting hardware, it's definitely rusted. But we're gonna apply some of that witch's brew on there. And the nice thing about it is we're gonna see right away if there's any type of rust in there, right away, that bright purple. So we'll see right away if it's working or not. So I'm just gonna throw the headlight on, throw a little light on that situation, and then just get started and applying more of that witch's brew. This is always a problem spot. It's this place where the exhaust hangers mount onto the cab. All right, let's get some in there. And we're just gonna get ahead and throw it around this joint and then put some on the hardware. Right away you can see where the witch's brew, the iron and rust remover, is hitting, you know, the spots with the rust. Right here as well. Really exposes where those rust problems are. Really breaking down. You can see how purple it is. Even on the huck bolts there on the mounting bracket to the back of the cab, that little area, when it's purple like that, you know it's working. It's attacking that rust, breaking it down, neutralizing it, stopping it from getting any worse. Again, guys, safe on paint, safe on all surfaces. We're going to apply it a little more to the back. We're going to make things purple, brighten it up, and then we're going to fire up the pump and then blast it off clean, and that really gets rid of that rust. So let's apply some more. Wow, look at that. Check it out, guys. We're just spraying here at the back end, working on this back axle, and you can see it doesn't take long. Literally just applied it right here in front of you, and look how purple it's turning already. Really attacking that rust. Any open and exposed carbon fiber steel, it's going to completely break down and stop that rust that's breaking down, really corroding those surfaces of your components back here. So we're going to apply it just a little bit more, give it some time, and then we'll blast it off. We've gone around the back end here a little bit. Let me turn this off for you. Use pretty much that water that we separated in the bottle. That's what we used so far out of a 32-ounce bottle. We took 4 ounces out, fill it up with that 3-to-1 water, that panel impact ratio. We've got a majority of the back end covered here. So it covers pretty well. You can see, I'll turn the light back on for you guys. Like down along here on this cross member where it's rusted, you can see really well how it's, you know, impacted that rust. Down on the floor, what's dripped down, and even here, right? It's really turning purple. Anytime it makes contact with that rust, it turns purple really quick. So we've put a lot on the back here. We've let it sit for a bit. We'll go ahead and get the wash pump fired up and blast some of it off, and then clean it up. And it's prepped for stars and stripes for that wash coming up next. So one of our products that we have here, I like to break down our products into like 2 categories, like correction and protection. And this has a lot more of that correction than protection. It really fights and bites a lot of that rust. And something like this, it's not gonna make it absolutely perfect, but what you're doing, applying a product like this, it eliminates and really slows down that rusting process. So a great way to keep your truck looking clean in the back. It doesn't take long with these salty environments here in the northern US, up in here in Canada as well, before a good truck, a newer truck, really starts to see some of that corrosion and rust in the back. Especially a lot of those places back here, the frame isn't so bad, but a lot of the times it's that 5th wheel plate, that 5th wheel ride. It's got a, it's not treated as well as the frame when it comes from the factory. A lot of guys, you'll know what I'm talking about. Leave a comment below if you know what I mean. It's the 5th wheel rails that really see a lot of that, and we hit it really hard with the witch's brew there. So definitely makes a difference in impacting and slowing down, stopping a lot of that contamination. We're all about hitting those products, the correction products, right? We want to neutralize the salt, we want to inhibit that rust, knock it out, and then maintain it and just stop a lot of that damage that happens from the corrosion on the road. So let's get ready. We're gonna blast it off and clean it up. Okay, we've let it dry about 15 minutes. Witch's Brew is set. We've got it on this stack here. Didn't have enough to put it on the other one, so we're just gonna blast this up, clean this up, and then spend some time cleaning up the back here. Let's have a look. All right, we've had a chance to clean up in the back here a little bit. You can see even spots like this on the frame. You can tell there was a lot of rust there before. It's cleaned up a lot of that rust off. It's down to the bare metal again. I know it's open and it's still exposed, but this is a great way to prep that metal if you're going to be doing something like a film liner for that winter decontamination, or you want to prep it down before cleaning it, maybe applying some more paint to kind of block any more of that rust. This is a great way to eliminate that rust and just take off a lot of the rust that's there, protect it from rusting even more. So protection, correction, a lot more of that correction. We're getting rid of that rust. Keep it at bay, keep that back end of the truck looking well. So like we said, safe on all surfaces, paint as well. If you've got a personal vehicle, great for that as well. I challenge you to give it a try. If you think your car is in good shape, not to say that it isn't, but it's a really great way of finding out whether you have iron contaminations on your paint, on your car, on your pickup, SUV as well. The satisfying thing about Witch's Brew, definitely seeing that purple. You know it's working. Anytime it turns purple, bright purple, it's hitting that rust, hitting that iron, and really breaking it down. The only downfall about the Witch's Brew, it's got a horrible smell. So anytime that product is used, ventilated area, open the door a bit, not a problem. It's not gonna harm you. But I'm surprised at how well it works. This is the first product, the first iron remover we've seen that we've been able to dilute it. Again, guys, some of you have been asking, well, can I just put the sprayer on the bottle and use it that way? You can, but in a sense, you're using more product than what you need. The whole point of having it concentrate is to make it last longer, get the value of the product when you purchase it. So we're seeing great results with a 3-to-1 panel impact ratio, and we're loving it. We're gonna be able to have it on the website very shortly for you. We're gonna have it in 32-ounce bottles. A little goes a long, long way, like we said. 4 ounces here, and we were able to get most of the back end done. So we really appreciate you checking out. Here's the time when I ask you guys for more comments. Tell me what you think, what you like, what you don't like. Hit the subscribe button, and stay tuned for more. This is the Witch's Brew, available on our website. Thanks for watching.